Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to some useful tips and tricks I've recently learned about Monster Hunter Wilds just in time for the new update. So yeah, the game has sold 10 million copies. Great for Monster Hunter, great for Capcom. The game deserves it, and because of that, you get a lot of really cool bonus stuff. Now you just need to log in, collect your daily bonuses. If that doesn't happen, you go to the cat support desk, and then you can claim your downloadable content from there. But 20 life powder, 30 mega potions, hard armor spheres, and some silver eggs and the mega barrel bombs. So yeah, really nice stuff to claim, even though it pretty much auto claims if you're online and just taking in your daily bonuses. Next up, rerolling for Artian weapons. So this is something that I didn't know about, and also a lot of people don't seem to know about, so you actually can catch cheaters this way since they have impossible Artian combinations where it's like, hey, look at me, I got my 5 affinity dual blades, I'm just the most cracked person ever. Actually, no, you cheated. Way to be a loser. So there's a good way of catching people like that. People are going to say, well, that's your thumbnail. Exactly. That's the tip. It's impossible. So we can actually talk about what is possible. Caps are 5 for attack, 4 for element status, 3 for affinity, and then 2 for sharpness. So if you're trying to cook up something for your Artian weapons, or you've been re-rolling because you really want 4 affinity for your weakness exploit build, you can't do that. So you have to kind of balance out what else you need. Raw is king, so when in doubt, just raw damage, and then whatever else you can roll for, and sharpness is also really good depending on your weapon and how actively you're going to be fighting and how much your sharpness is going to decay inside of a fight. But these are the caps, and it's one of those things I didn't even know when I was making my guide, because re-rolling is so frustrating. You have to farm Nightflower Pollen, and then you have to advance the day to get the relic tickets, then you have to meld, then you have to craft, and then you have to do all that stuff. So at that point, most people, they're just yo, if I can get 4 out of 5, I'm taking it because it's just too annoying. And inside of that, that's when you have to know what you want for your personal build and what is possible. So I think that's a pretty significant tip. Next up, we have a food system chart that has been posted to Reddit. Thank you, Debilawas. You probably didn't understand the game's food system, so I made this infographic for you. That is 100% correct. I just kind of made food, and buffs would randomly appear at it, and I'm just okay, I guess I have some bonus stuff that maybe sounds good or hopefully applies. Cool. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of details in this post, and you can't, read anything individually, and Reddit's imaging system sucks, because, oh, I can't zoom in and then scroll around and look. It doesn't do anything to change anything, so that's really stupid. But the really important things to note from this is that there's random skills that get added when you put in primary and secondary ingredients outside of your rations, and that goes from a set table. Also, the village meals are really important to pay attention to because they all come with insurance. So it's going to be insurance, a primary ingredient benefit, and then 2 random skills, as well as all the buffs. 5 attack, 10 defense, 10 element bonus. So if you're going to be going into a high rank fight or something really difficult, yeah, reset until a meal is available for you and then take that meal, and it kind of doesn't matter. Any of the village meals are going to be amazing, and then you get the insurance, you get a little bit of extra benefit and tons of base stats from it, and then that means oh, well, yeah, you could have always just gone on to the wiki and find the extra random skills and see what's good for you. I don't think it's actually super duper worth oh, I have to cook 4 different meals until I get the random skills I'm looking for, but it's good to know that they exist and what they do, because oh, I got random skills. How did that happen? I don't know. I guess fortune procs, and that's kind of cool. You might also notice sometimes when you make a meal and then you're fighting, and it's balanced meal activates. Oh, cool. Now you're not getting knocked down as hard, and then negates damage when walking on lava. Then there's just a little bit of extra nice benefits. Nothing too crazy broken, but it can feel really nice. We're cool, my random skills are nice, and going to the village or getting these extra benefits are really good as well. So very useful stuff to learn about when it comes to the food system, since the food system is really, really, really good. And next up, we have a really big PSA. Back up your save file. I've seen a couple of posts. I've even seen comments on my videos of people saying, man, it sucks, but I lost over 100 hours of progress. My game crashed. Something weird happened. I loaded back in, and my save file was gone. So yeah, a friendly reminder to make a manual backup of your save file from time to time. Monster Hunter crashed midway through her hunt. Save file got corrupted. Steam uploaded the corrupted save over the previous version. So yeah, don't rely only on the Steam cloud, and there's even ways of getting around that. So just good information to have. There goes 150 hours of game time. Find your location. So this one wasn't as useful as this post I found right here. So the direct one is program files 86. That's where you find the Steam for the user data for your ID, and then you go to 2246340 and you can find your save that way. And if you haven't made a save and then your game crashes, or it's been a while and there's a lot of progress that you don't want to lose, there's a way to prevent the Steam cloud from overwriting your corrupt data potentially. So what happened to me was I loaded in the game and I was back at the agree to the terms and condition page. What I would suggest is leave the game open, visit the Steam cloud saves, and then download your old cloud save again and just pray it still works. So what's wrecking people is they see the terms and conditions, they panic, and they immediately close out their game. Well, by closing out the game, that's going to update the cloud, and that's actually going to be what dooms people. So if you ever see like the terms and conditions page, wait, and then try to recover your old cloud save. And then a cheeky thing I commonly do inside of my tips and tricks videos is I make a tip of, look at my content, that you can find my builds on Mobalytics, and I upload them first before making videos. So here we have like Mizutsune high rank, and then also some Zoshia guides, and just all kinds of other stuff to go through. Same thing for going into the description, finding my playlist, and just kind of looking through that. You might find a guide of something that you've been looking for, you might get extra game knowledge that is going to help out, or you can just get inspired by some of my builds. Primary hunting horn, a lot of support, a lot of exploration. Been up to just a lot of cooking when it comes to Monster Hunter builds, and then you can use that to expand all of your gameplay. So yeah, check out my stuff in the Mobalytics page. It's just so nice. Like, Mobalytics has been shockingly good for me, where I can plan out my build here, build it in the game, kind of double check and then see everything all nice, and it just looks great for content. And then I found some extra discussion about flinch free versus shock absorber. I'm pretty much everyone knows at this point that, like, yeah, if you have a free level 1 slot, put in the shock absorber. That way you don't get staggered when other players hit you, and you don't affect other players by accidentally hitting them. In the old games, you wanted like all flinch free, so if you do get tagged, you're not going to feel it. And because Shock Absorber just exists and it's only one level 1 decoration slot, yeah, you should have that if it's something that's impacting you. Weird thing is, on Hunting Horn, it hasn't felt relevant to me ever, and if you're playing with groups, well, technically, not everyone needs to have the Shock Absorber, because if they're, like, because it prevents it both ways. It means you can't stagger others or be staggered by other people. So, like, 3 people can run it, and then your main DPS that doesn't have, like, a slot to give up, they don't need it because they can't affect anyone else and no one else can affect them. And that's going to be it. Like I said, this was just a quick tips video, not like 20 crazy things, but just some important things to note going into the DLC, just kind of making sure all of your knowledge is caught up as more people get to the end game, and there's some important things to know about Monster Hunter Wilds. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.